My wife demanded, "Give me your $100,000 inheritance. My sister needs a starter home." I replied, "You're right, it's for family." Then I transferred the full amount to a trust fund in my own name and showed her sister the access denied letter. Her panicked call from the bank. I, 35 male, am what you'd call a peacemaker, which is internet slang for doormat. I've spent the last 6 years married to Giselle, 33, and by extension, married to her entire family. My Maëlle, Noelle, and my sister-in-law, Bianca, 28, view my home as their timeshare and my wallet as their personal ATM. I put up with it. The endless brunches on my card, the emergency car repairs for Bianca, the constant, thinly veiled insults from Noelle about how I'm lucky Giselle settled for me. I put up with it because, well, I'm not sure anymore. 2 weeks ago, my favorite person in the world, my Aunt Clara, passed away. She was my mom's sister, a total firecracker who lived simply and never took grief from anyone. I'm wrecked. She was more of a mother to me than my own. Last week, her estate was settled. She left me her house, which I sold, and the cash just hit my account. $100,000. It's not change your life money, but it's a serious cushion. It's also blood money in my eyes. It's the last piece of her. I'm planning to just sit on it, maybe invest it quietly. Giselle and her family have been acting weird, unusually nice, bringing me coffee. It's unnerving. The other shoe dropped last night. I was in the kitchen trying to figure out what to do with Aunt Clara's old landscape paintings. She painted them herself. They're not great, but they're hers. Giselle came in, followed by Bianca. This was a tag team. "Alex, honey," Giselle started, using that voice she uses when she's about to ask for a $1,000 handbag. "We need to talk about the money." "It's an inheritance, Giselle. It's not the money. It's from my aunt." Right, and she'd want you to be happy, wouldn't she?" Giselle said. "And you know what would make us as a family really happy?" I just stared at her. Bianca, who has the financial sense of a goldfish, chimed in. "A starter home. I found the perfect new build development. It's only a little bit outside the city, and it has a bonus room for my art studio." I felt the blood drain out of my face. "A starter home. For you." "Duh," Bianca said, as if I were an idiot. "Giselle and I were talking, and it's just so perfect. The $100K would cover the whole down payment and the builder upgrades. We could finally get me out of that gross apartment." I looked at Giselle. She had her arms crossed, smiling, like this was a done deal. "You want me to give Bianca my inheritance, my $100,000. Don't be so dramatic, Alex." Giselle snapped, her niceness vanishing. "It's not for Bianca, it's for family. We're your family. She's my sister. What else are you gonna do with it? Just let it sit there? That's selfish." This was the moment. The peacemaker in me was screaming to just find a compromise. Offer her $5,000, something to make them go away. But all I could see was my Aunt Clara, sipping her awful instant coffee, telling me, "Don't let those vultures pick you clean, Alex. You have a spine. Use it." The anger that hit me was so cold and so quiet, it actually scared me. I looked at Giselle, at her smug, expectant face, and the last 6 years of being a human ATM just curdled. I forced a smile. It felt like my face was cracking. "You're right," I said. Giselle's smile widened. Bianca literally clapped her hands. "You're absolutely right. It's for family, and it should be used for something important. A starter home is a great idea." "Oh my God, Alex, thank you!" Bianca shrieked, hugging me. It felt like a snake coiling around me. "This is so great," Giselle said, kissing my cheek. "See? I knew you'd understand. We're a team." "Absolutely," I said. "So here's what we need to do. This kind of money transfer is complicated. Taxes, gift letters, blah blah. I need to set it up properly so it's all legal." "Whatever, just get it done," Bianca said, already scrolling through a furniture website on her phone. "I'll call my financial guy tomorrow," I said. "I'll have him draw up the paperwork. We'll probably all need to go to the bank to sign it. I'll set it up for, let's say, Friday." "Friday? That's so soon." They left the kitchen, giddy, talking about paint colors and housewarming parties. I stood there for a full minute. Then I pulled out my phone. I did not call my financial guy. I called my lawyer, the one I'd kept on retainer just in case for the last 2 years. "Hey Greg," I said, "it's time. I need you to set up an irrevocable trust. Asset protection, effective immediately. And I need to schedule a consultation for a divorce. Step 1, the trust, 8 p.m., Tuesday. I spent an hour on the phone with Greg. The $100,000 was an inheritance, received during the marriage but kept in a separate account in my name only. It was legally my separate property, but that could get messy in a divorce. Greg's advice? Move it. Now. He had the paperwork drawn up for an irrevocable trust. Beneficiary Alex, me. Trustee, Greg's law firm. This means the money is legally no longer mine to be accessed. It's held for me by a third party. It's untouchable. By Giselle, by Bianca, by anyone. Step 2, the setup, 8 a.m. Wednesday. I got an email from Greg with the finalized, notarized trust documents. The transfer was complete. The $100 was gone from my savings account and now resided in Fort Knox. The document was titled, The Clara, My Last Name Family Trust. I printed out the cover sheet, the one with all the legal jargon and the access denied stamp for unauthorized parties. It looked very official. Step 3, the lure, 9 a.m. Wednesday. I texted Bianca. Hey, big day. The bank needs us to sign the final papers. Be at the downtown branch of my bank at 1 p.m. on Friday. The big one with the wealth management office. This is the final transfer, so Giselle should come too. She replied with a dozen champagne bottle emojis. For the next 2 days, I was the perfect supportive husband. I listened to Giselle talk about how proud she was of me for finally stepping up as the man of the family. I nodded when Bianca sent me links to dishwashers. I felt nothing, just cold, quiet, methodical calm. The doormat was gone. Friday came. I put on my best suit. I met Giselle and Bianca in the lobby of the bank. Bianca was literally vibrating. Is this it? Is this where I get the check? She whispered, looking around like she was at the Oscars. Sort of, I said. We have to meet with the trust officer. She has the final letter. I'd called ahead. I knew exactly who to ask for. A senior VP I had a brief, professional acquaintance with. I hadn't told her the details, just that I needed to present a legal document to my family in a secure office, and I needed a witness. We were shown into a glass-walled conference room. Very serious. The VP, a woman named Ms. Alvarez, came in. Mr. My last name. Ma'am. Okay, let's do this. I have so much shopping to do, Bianca said, pulling out her phone. Here is the final paperwork regarding the funds, Bianca, I said. I slid the printed out cover sheet from Greg's office across the table. The one that said, The Clara, My Last Name Family Trust. Bianca looked at it, her brow furrowed. What is this? Trust? I thought it was a check. Giselle snatched it from her. She read it, her face went pale. Alex, what is this? She said, her voice dangerously quiet. Where is the $100,000? It's in the trust, I said calmly. Like I said, it's for family. My family, Aunt Clara's family. It's protected. Protected? Bianca squeaked. Protected from what? From you, I said. The silence in that room was absolute. Ms. Alvarez just watched, her face a perfect neutral mask. I don't understand, Bianca said, tears welling up. Where's my house money? There is no your house money, Bianca, I said. There never was. It's my inheritance. Giselle stood up. Her chair scraped loudly on the floor. You lied to us. No, I said, standing up as well. You lied to yourselves. You've been bleeding me dry for 6 years. This was just the final, disgusting straw. Demanding my dead aunt's money? For a starter home? You bastard, Giselle screamed. She was shaking. You, undo it. Miss Alvarez, he needs to undo this. Tell him to give us the money. Miss Alvarez looked at her coolly. Ma'am, I am only here as a witness. This is a legal trust document. The funds are not in a transferable account. There is nothing this bank can do. You. Bianca looked at me and just let out a wail. A full-on toddler in a toy store aisle wail. You promised me. I promised I'd put it to use for family, I said, adjusting my tie. And I have. It's safe. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a divorce consultation. I walked out of the conference room. I left them both there screaming. As I was walking through the lobby, my phone rang. It was Giselle. I guess she'd tried calling the bank manager, then her mom, and now me. I answered, just to hear it. Alex, you get back here. You get back here right now and you fix this. I'll... Giselle, I said, pushing open the glass door to the street. You should probably call a lawyer. I already have. I hung up. I know this isn't over. Not by a long shot. I'm heading to my lawyer's office now. I imagine when I get home, the locks will need to be changed. But for the first time in 6 years, I'm not a peacemaker. And I'm not a doormat. I'm just free. Update 1, it's been 2 weeks. I'm writing this from a sterile, soulless corporate apartment, but it's quiet and it's mine, so an upgrade. Thank you all for the comments. Validating to know I'm not the crazy one. To answer a few things. Yes, Greg, my lawyer, is a beast. And no, I never went back to the house. As I was leaving the bank, I called a 24/7 locksmith and had him meet me at my house. I got there 30 minutes before Giselle. I had just enough time to grab my laptop, my passport, my clothes, Aunt Clara's paintings, and my dad's old watch. I was walking out with the last box as her car peeled around the corner. She jumped out, face blotchy and purple with rage. Bianca was with her. "Where are you going?" Giselle shrieked. "Out," I said, putting the box in my car. The locksmith was just finishing up. "You can't leave. You can't just lock me out of my house." "It's my house, Giselle. Premarital asset, just like the inheritance is my separate property." This was a bit of a gray area, but Greg told me to act with confidence. "You'll be served with divorce papers tomorrow. Your name isn't on the mortgage. You have 30 days to vacate as per the law." 30 days? I'm not. I'll call the cops. I'll tell them you hit me. I just stopped. I looked at her. The threat, the ease with which she said it. The locksmith, bless his heart, had been recording the entire exchange on his phone. "Did you just threaten to file a false police report, ma'am?" he asked, not even looking up from his invoice. The color drained from her face. She recognized the game over moment. She just deflated, and the entitlement came roaring in to fill the vacuum. "Fine," she spat. "Fine. I don't want your stupid house anyway. It has your taste all over it, but I'm getting my share, and I'm getting that money. You wait, Alex, my mother will hear about this." I just got in my car and drove away. The next 48 hours were a blur of legal calls. I officially moved into the corporate apartment, paid for by me. The divorce was filed. Giselle was served. Then, the dirty trick I was waiting for. I got a call on Saturday from my bank's fraud department. "Mr. My last name? We're calling about some unusual activity on your investment portfolio." My heart stopped. This wasn't the inheritance. This was my 401k and a separate brokerage account I'd had since before I was married. "What activity?" I said, trying to keep my voice even. "Well, sir, we had 2 calls this morning. One from a woman claiming to be Bianca, my last name, your sister, trying to get your account balance. The call was flagged as it came from a blocked number. We denied her." "My sister?" She used my last name. Then, the agent continued, we received a second call about an hour later from a woman claiming to be you, or rather, she was a woman claiming to be a bank representative who had Alex, my last name, on the line to authorize a wire transfer. A wire transfer? To where? A new account. She said it was an emergency. The Alex she had on the line was, well, it was clearly just her trying to disguise her voice. It was very unprofessional. We, of course, locked the account and are filing a report. Bianca, the sheer idiotic criminal stupidity. She had tried to steal my retirement savings. I got off the phone, my hands shaking. This wasn't just entitlement anymore. This was a felony. I called Greg. He was silent for a moment, then he just said, "Oh good, this is very, very good." He requested the bank tapes and the official report immediately. The entitlement didn't stop. Later that day, my MIL, Noelle, called me. I answered on speakerphone, with Greg's advice to record it. "Alexander," she boomed. "No hello. You have 30 seconds to explain why you are trying to make my daughters homeless and destitute." "Hello, Noelle. Giselle is divorcing me, so I'm protecting my assets." "Your assets? You mean the assets my daughter helped you build? The support she gave you? The dinners she made?" Giselle hadn't cooked a meal since 2019. We lived on takeout. "What do you want, Noelle?" "You are going to undo that trust thing. You are going to give Bianca the $100,000 you promised her. And you are going to give Giselle the house and half of your savings as she deserves. Or else." "Or else what, Noelle? Are you going to threaten me too?" "Or else. We will make your life hell. You won't know what hit you. We will tell everyone, all your friends, your boss, what a monster you are. A financial abuser. How you hit her." My blood went cold again. "Noelle, are you also threatening to file a false police report?" There was a sharp intake of breath. I am telling you what a jury will believe. A poor, defenseless woman against a man like you? You do the math, Alex. Fix this. Now." She hung up. I sent the recording to Greg. His reply was one line: "We're going to win, and we're going to make them pay for this." Update 2 final. This is the last one. It's over. It's been 6 months of legal hell, 6 months of mediation, depositions, and watching my lawyer's bills climb. Giselle and her family were not normal. They were, as Greg put it, cartoonishly malicious. After the recorded threats, Greg filed for a temporary restraining order, which was granted. This kept them away from me and my office, which infuriated them. Their smear campaign was dead on arrival. The divorce proceedings were ugly. Giselle's lawyer was a shark, but a shark working for a client who had no concept of reality. They tried everything. The inheritance. They argued the 100K was a marital gift because I said, "You're right, it's for family." They claimed this was a verbal contract. The judge literally laughed. An inheritance, never commingled, put into a trust before papers were even filed. It was mine. Untouchable. The house. This was harder. Even though it was premarital, she had lived there for 6 years. We'd done some minor renovations, which I paid for. She was entitled to some of the value increase. This is the realism part, folks. I didn't get to keep everything. Alimony, she demanded $10,000 a month. Indefinitely. To maintain the lifestyle to which she is accustomed. Her lawyer argued she was a vulnerable spouse who sacrificed her career, her failed MLM, for my benefit. This is where my revenge, my real, satisfying, methodical revenge, finally came to fruition. We were in a final mediation session. Giselle, Noelle, for emotional support, aka glaring at me, Bianca, who was legally required to be there, and their lawyer. Her lawyer was laying out their final, non-negotiable offer. Giselle gets the house, I pay her to take it. 70% of my 401k, the $10,000 a month in alimony, and I pay all her legal fees. Greg just listened patiently. When the lawyer was done, Greg leaned forward. "Thank you for that creative proposal. We reject it. All of it. Here is our final, non-negotiable offer." He slid a single sheet of paper across the table. "My client, Alex, will sell the marital home. The equity will be split 50-50, as is fair. He will keep his retirement accounts as they are premarital. He will keep his inheritance. He will pay a one-time, lump sum alimony payment of $20,000. That is all." Giselle's lawyer scoffed. "And why exactly would we accept that? We'll see you in court. We'll destroy him." "No, you won't," Greg said, his voice dropping. "Because if you do not sign this agreement, by 5 p.m. today, I will be walking these files over to the district attorney's office." He pulled out a second folder. He opened it. "This," he said, "is the certified report from Mr. My last name, Spank, detailing Miss Bianca's attempts to access his accounts." Bianca went white. "And this," Greg continued, "is a high-fidelity audio recording of Miss Bianca on a taped bank line committing wire fraud and identity theft by impersonating a bank representative and her own brother-in-law." He pressed play on a small recorder. The room filled with Bianca's squeaky, high-pitched voice saying, "Yes, this is Alex. Mr. My last name, I need to authorize an emergency transfer." Bianca looked like she was going to be sick. "And this," Greg said, "is a recording of Miss Noelle threatening to file a false police report for domestic violence against my client, a criminal act in this state. And this is a text chain, subpoenaed from Miss Giselle's phone, where she and Miss Bianca coordinate the bank fraud attempt, which makes Miss Giselle an accessory to a felony." The room was silent. Giselle was looking at Bianca. Noelle was looking at the door. Their lawyer looked like he'd just swallowed a hornet. "This is," the lawyer stammered. "This is coercion." "No," Greg said. "This is leverage. You came here to negotiate a divorce. Your clients brought a criminal conspiracy. My client is offering you a choice. You can sign this very fair, very final divorce settlement, and this folder goes into my shredder. Or you can all walk out of here, and Giselle can visit her sister and mother in prison for the next 5 to 7 years. He leaned back. "Your call." Noelle started to mutter. They wouldn't, a woman, The DA loves open and shut cases of bank fraud, Noelle. They're very easy to prosecute, Greg said cheerfully. Giselle stared at the paper, then at Bianca, then at her lawyer. She grabbed the pen, she signed. It took another hour. Bianca and Noelle had to sign separate affidavits, swearing they would never contact me again. Giselle walked away with about $45,000 from the house sale. After paying her lawyer, she was left with almost nothing. She, Bianca, and Noelle are all living together in Noelle's small 2-bedroom condo. I heard from a mutual friend that Bianca is working as a cashier at a craft store, and Giselle is consulting again. I lost the house. I had to sell it. The legal fees took a huge chunk of my savings, though Greg, as a final few, got the judge to make Giselle pay for half the mediation fees, which was a small victory. I live in a new condo now. It's smaller, but it's mine. Aunt Clara's silly little landscape paintings are hanging on my wall. I look at them every day. It wasn't a clean win. It was messy, and it cost me. I'm not a hero. I'm just a guy who finally found his spine. They didn't learn their lesson. They're not sorry. They're just angry they got caught. And that's the most realistic and satisfying part of it all. They didn't get the money. They didn't get the house. They didn't get to ruin my life. They just lost.